We're back. Episode 58. That's a 5 and 8 next to each other of Sketching Up. Thank you for joining us. I hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I know I did. I was down in Dallas, Texas, enjoying myself. I'm Chris Schnabel with Kyle Scott. Thank you for joining us again. Kyle, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm chilling. Thanksgiving was smooth, so.
Yeah. It's nice to have that little time off and all that stuff from work. And, we're working people. So it's not just, we don't just podcast all the time. We are working people. So it's nice to have that time off. Today, though, we are going to bring the much anticipated Villains episode back as I drag my mic to the ground. The very anticipated Villains episode where we give the bios, I guess we'll say, the traits, both of the villains that we created. So let me quickly flip over to that. The villain names that we have for you are Violet Sage, which that one, I think we should save that one for last because we have most of it already.
Mm-hmm.
Shade, Count Von Drake, Void, Scarlet Horror, and Moonstar. So I would say we end with Violet Sage because Violet Sage was also supposed to be more of like the leader of the group, and there's a lot of backstory we already have for it. So I think we'll save that one for later. But those are the 6 that we have to do today. I'm very excited to get into it. Really quick before we do that, you can find us on Schnabel Studios on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And that's where you can find not only this podcast, but other podcasts we are doing and other things like films. I have a film going through the film festivals right now. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out there. And you can check out old episodes of Sketching Up. We have a couple of good ones in the past here that we've done. We've been very consistent weekly. That's what we've done, and that's what we're doing. So if you want to catch up on a lot of the stuff, you can just go there. You can go anywhere you find podcasts to do that. So I'm all done with that. Let's get right into it. I really want to get into this. I want to spend the whole episode on this. We're not talking about Walmart, not giving any hot takes, nothing. We're going straight into the villains because this is where we want to go. So because I said we should probably skip Violet Sage for now, I think we should start with Emma Cameron, Shade, who is a female, and that's all we have. So do you have any ideas of what you think? So this is going to be a little tougher for the people that have been following the hero creation series that we've been doing. When we did the heroes, they kind of gave us the traits already, but we used a different site this time to do the villains. So we don't have the traits. So we can actually kind of come up with this. It's still going to be based on the name, but we have more liberties. Like they kind of told us what their abilities were close to on the other site. This time they did not. So do you have any ideas of what Shade would be kind of compared to?
Kind of like the chick from, to me, either somebody who can like do stuff with shadows, like, or somebody that's like chick from X-Men, the one who can walk through walls and things.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
She can have ghost-like powers to where she can
see,
walk.
I was thinking almost the same thing, like a very dark character, like lives in the shadows, like you said, kind of thing, like a very dark character.
Yeah,
I was almost thinking more of like a Batman character, but a villain as Shade.
Okay, so it could be like this. They can have like the Batman type of deal, but they can, let's say they can travel through shadows.
So it travels through shadows. I like that as the power. That's definitely a power. Well, if it's like Batman so she's reliant on her gadgets, because Batman's almost solely reliant on his gadgets in prep time.
Yeah. So personality,
it's preparation. No, don't make it exactly like Batman.
No, I didn't want to.
That's too on the nose. That's too on the nose.
What I was gonna do was I was gonna make her really, really emo.
Okay.
So like she was gonna be kind of like a
very emotional. Has had a lot done to her.
Yeah, like she's highly emotional. She's like I'm thinking about a superhero from My Hero Academia because he struggles with like depression because he can multiply himself, but
Okay.
like he doesn't have like a sense of self because he keeps multiplying himself. So like he was
Oh,
going
yeah.
crazy because he used to treat each one of his copies as like a person.
I have an idea with that. So
Okay.
travels through the. I wouldn't even say travels through the shadows. You could say travels through darkness, but darkness eats at your soul. I don't know how to really put
So
that, but
her
like the darkness eats at her, and that's why she's always emotional. That's why she's evil because she travels through darkness. She only sees the evil parts of the world.
Oh, okay. So she's really cynical.
Yes, great word, great word. Better than I was going to come up with. I like that. Hometown is tough. I know we're not done with the other one. I'm just kind of looking at the list.
No, that's cool.
I don't know where her hometown would be. I mean, a very sad city would be like
Like
Detroit. Just
like
kidding.
she could be from like Seattle, Detroit.
Okay.
She could be from like a war-torn country.
That's what I was thinking, a war-torn country, but I don't know which one I'd want to go with. Or we could just not really describe it. It could just be like from war-torn third world country or something like that.
She could be from like Somalia. Hold on. She could be from like Somalia.
Okay. There are pirates there, so
Yeah, so like she's from yeah, she could be she's the daughter of a Somali pirate.
okay. Like it. Go ahead. Put Somalia and then put under I guess her personality traits you could put the daughter of a Somali pirate. Goes by Shade. And I think for her superpowers, we need more of. We need more. We need more than just travels through darkness. We need travels through darkness, but can also create darkness. Like can bring down, like can bring you into darkness, can suck you into darkness.
Or let's say
I think this one's more your speed. I think you need to give the suggestions on this. This is like DC Batman
yeah.
universe type stuff. So this is more your speed than my
You know
speed.
what I think she should be able to travel through darkness
Okay.
and she has her own dark dimension that she can put people or things in.
I like that. That could be the darkness she travels through. Her
Okay, so
dimension
she can
lives in the darkness. Her
yeah, so
dimension is in the darkness. She could pull you into the darkness.
let's just say
I like that.
has control over a dimension in the dark.
I would say it has control over dimension that you could say lives in darkness. We'll know what that means. We'll know what that means.
That's pretty tough. Like think about somebody who can travel through darkness and then it's just like just pops up, snatches you in the darkness, and like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that
like
will be
Wanda and
wild.
Doctor Strange.
Say what?
Remember when she's in the mirrors? Wanda and
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, like the same type of deal.
Yeah. So
Um,
light has to be her
Light
weakness.
is the weakness. Yeah, that's too easy. And I think we're good with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Oh, physical
Oh.
traits.
Oh. How old is she?
Oh,
Hey, let's make her young.
I
So
will
let's.
say we might
Yeah.
want to look back at some of the ages. I was looking at the ages of some of our heroes, and there are a
They're
couple
old.
young ones, but there's some older heroes in there. Like there's nothing wrong with having older heroes, but I feel like they should be more on the younger side. 20s,
Yeah.
30s. We have some closing in on 60 on the hero side. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
I got you on a few of them.
Okay, you can change a few of them you want. We have like a couple in their 40s, couple in their 50s, and it's like, well, we're not going to be able to franchise this because they'll be retiring pretty soon. But age, I'll put her in her late 20s. Late 20s
Late
sounds pretty
20?
good. Yeah, why not?
So she'll
No
be
reason.
28.
No reason for it. I just think late 20s is good. Um, I think she'd have to be skinny, like frail looking. I wouldn't say skinny. I'd say frail
Petite?
looking.
Like
She's not
frail looking?
frail. Frail looking, but not frail. Um, that's all I really got for that, though. I think she's
She
frail. She looks frail, but she's not. She's powerful. I mean, she controls an whole entire dimension.
she wears a lot of black,
Wears a lot of black. Yeah.
and it's like kind of a. She has like an Eeyore type of personality.
Always a downer.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then I think that's it for her. 28 years old, travels through darkness, frail but powerful, wears black, highly emotional, cynical of the world, daughter of a Somali pirate from Somalia. Weakness is light, 28-year-old Emma Cameron, a.k.a. Shade. That is our first villain. As you finish that up, I'll introduce the second villain in this. It's James Rich, a.k.a. Count Von Drake. He's a male. I think this might be the easiest one to do. He's basically Dracula. His name's Count Von Drake. He is a Dracula ripoff. He is. You can literally write Dracula ripoff if you want, right there. Dracula-like powers. You could say like almost like Dracula, like Morbius, vampire, whatever one you want to say. Super strength. I mean, he has the ability to turn anybody into a vampire. He is a vampire. We don't really have to even go too deep into this. He is a vampire. What you would imagine of a vampire is Count Von Drake. We can give him a couple of more unique things as well, but that's literally what I imagine Count Von Drake.
I was about to say and let's say he can grow bat wings out of his back.
Instead of turning into a bat, he actually can like fly. He could grow the bat wings, and it can control bats.
Ooh,
like that's his backup. Our bats has fangs, sharp, almost like claws as hands.
I got him under vampire looking, so that's all of the things.
That's
with
all the
long
things
blonde hair and
like.
everything.
That's true. I would say though he's not weak to sunlight. It's too easy. There's two characters that would be weak to light. You take out half the team with a lamp. So is vampire sunlight or is it stakes? It's stakes to the heart, isn't it? Which one's sunlight? They might be both.
Well, they're not good with sunlight.
Yeah, they're not
Let's
good with
say
sunlight.
he's weak in sunlight, but he can only die, I don't know. It has to be like a very inconvenient way that he can die.
Well, that's a wooden stake to the heart. Or even buy a wooden stake anymore. We can figure that out in a second. I would say weakness. Yeah, I think he's weaker in the daytime, but still not. He's still powerful. I don't like the stake to the heart thing. That's too on the nose. So, what can we do?
We can say that
he can only be killed with a rock from his hometown. One rock.
He can only die in the daytime by being stabbed with silver.
Okay, sounds good to me. He always attacks at night then. He's gonna be wearing lots of chest plates in the daytime. I'll tell you that much. Lots of chest plates for Count Von Drake in the daytime.
But here's the fun part. You know who has to be his hero now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What we change his name to? Not the Badger anymore. It's Steel Slayer. Steel Slayer. And it makes so much sense. Steel Slayer. He slays vampires. Like that's like completely blade on the nose, bang. Got him. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
That worked out too well.
Personality traits in hometown. Hometown, he can be from what?
Well, I don't want to say Transylvania because that's really on the nose.
No, yeah, he can be from.
I feel like somewhere in like the Midwest.
Oh, I was gonna say England.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Yep, because he's His counterpart's Australian, so that makes sense.
Yeah, or he can be from Australia if you want.
No. I like it. Make him from London.
Yeah, he's from
personality
London.
traits.
Oh, he's a playboy.
Playboy.
Yeah,
sounds good. Put it down.
That'd be hilarious. Right, think about if.
I don't know if you want a one of the villains to be a playboy with four of the villains being female, though.
True. I mean, he could be the playboy.
On everybody.
True. Everybody be pregnant. We can't have two emos.
I would say former playboy that became a vampire.
And then, because like just having that womanizer trope with a team full of women would be hilarious.
And he's a charmer. That means he's a charmer.
Mm-hmm.
Because playboys are always, that's what they are. That's how they get to that point. So I would say former playboy bitten by vampire. And then that's kind of been his life. I mean, you gotta survive as a vampire after that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let me finish that up. I believe that's everything. So that's James Rich Count Von Drake. He is a male. We're not going to give him an age because he's a vampire, so he could be God knows how.
We'll just say question mark.
Yeah, question mark. Who knows when he was born? I guess as a playboy, he would have to be a little bit more towards like the 70s, but doesn't matter. Dracula-like powers, can grow bat wings instead of turning into a bat, and can summon bats as well. Looks like your typical vampire, you know, all that fun stuff, fangs and claws and all that hilarious nonsense. Personality traits: he is a former playboy that was bitten by a bat. Now he has to do what he has to do to survive as a vampire. He is from London, and his weakness is that he grows weaker in the daytime, but can survive in the day. Sorry, he's weaker in the daytime, but still powerful, and can only die with silver in sunlight. So that's very specific. So I like that a lot. That's a very specific way to die. So the next one we got is Doris Marion, and that name is Void. I should have put this on my other thing here. I almost want to come back to Void. I feel like Void can be really... I don't know. There's so many directions you could take Void in. That's really great. Void is almost like a Galactus type thing. Like just eats the powers of the heroes, or eats the souls of people to survive or something.
We already have a character like that.
I know. But this is like the name Void, just kind of like, that's what I think of. I think of something that leaves a void in its enemy.
Oh, okay. So instead of stealing your life force, Void can just steal your powers.
Yeah, but then how do you defeat him? Like if it just steals your powers, but I don't know, because I still have another great one, but this would probably be better for Moonstar. Because Moonstar could be, you know, anything. We could just make it like flies, very powerful. But I was going to say Moonstar can copy abilities, almost like Taskmaster. I was going to say Void can do that, but then Void needs to be a little deeper than that. Moonstar could be not deep at all because it's Moonstar. You know, like that was the weakest name of all of them that we had. But I think Void just has to be something that like it's very powerful. Like just
I was gonna say either gravity manipulation, like literally can control gravity, or a person who can literally summon black holes.
I think both of those are great. Those are both amazing. Those are great. That's the way we should go. I like that a lot. Control, so gravity manipulation. I would say gravity manipulation can summon black holes and can manipulate mass, make things heavier, make things lighter.
Okay.
Because like a black hole, what is that? Actually, you don't even have to put the black hole part because that's what it is, right? A black hole is a collapsing mass. Like it's a collapsing planet. It's the mass collapsing inside itself. It makes a black hole. So can manipulate gravity and can control and manipulate mass, the mass of things, which so they can create black holes because they can do that. That was a good suggestion. I like that. That was really good. That was really, really good. That's exactly what I was thinking. I just couldn't get it out. You're much better with this one than I
am. Physical traits. I kind of want Void to be like this real, like... I kind of wanted her to be like a battle junkie.
I was going to say like a warrior. Like looks like a warrior. That's what I want too. Like I want like a Thanos with the warrior gear on type looking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you look at her, you're like, yo, she comes to wreck. Like she don't even want to be cute or nothing.
Yeah, no, I want a warrior. We're on the same. Like I want like not like how we have Amazon Dawn who's a warrior. I want something that looks like a space titan. I want a titan. That's what I want.
Hey, now
we're on the same page on that one. Like someone named Void can't not be a Titan looking.
So she's a big girl. So she's a muscle, like she's a big girl.
Yeah,
like She-Hulk. Like she's kind of like She-Hulk. Like she's kind of like She-Hulk.
Bigger than that. Bigger than She-Hulk.
No, she's
I
Hulk.
think she looked like the Hulk. Yeah. I would say muscle-bound Titan. Muscle-bound Titan. I like that a lot. Personality traits. I mean,
a battle
warrior junkie. At heart. Always looking for the next battle. Does not see good in anything. Always ready to take out.
Just hyper violent.
Hyper violent, ready to take out anyone or anything in her way. And I do think, I know we have it as a female. I guess we can keep it that way because they'd have to keep up a personality on Earth. I think this character should be from space.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think this should be an earthly character. I think this is an alien character.
So she's from an she's from a what you call that? A battle planet?
Yeah, it's called a battle planet, and we'll come up with a name later. Just the description is too much like has to be an alien. All right, now the weakness. I don't even know what the weakness would be. That's tough.
Okay, so oh man, because I have a hero that could probably do something.
Okay, what is it?
All right, so since she's a battle person, right, and she's hyper violent.
Yeah.
The only thing that can stop her is feeling loved or feeling love.
You went in a different direction than I thought you were going to go in.
Oh,
I didn't know what direction you were going to go in there, but I thought she would be matched with Amazon Dawn.
Oh, okay. We can do Amazon Dawn.
But I don't know what the weakness would be then. But what would the weakness be then? Because Amazon Dawn is like a warrior as well. You know, a big warrior for the heroes. So I figured that this would have to be something tropical, right? Or I don't even know. I have absolutely no idea.
We can say that could be where she can be Amazon Dawn. So like, where's Amazon Dawn from?
The Amazon.
Africa. Stupid.
I don't even. Is it? Hold on.
What are you thinking?
No, just keep going. Just keep going. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Let me see. Oh man, I don't know. I think. Oh a good weakness for somebody who can manipulate the mass of something.
So the Amazon runs through the top of South. I'm trying to look at like the cities it runs through. It runs through the top of South America. So Brazil, the Amazon is like Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Bulgaria, Venezuela. Those are the Amazon locations.
So I'm going to say Amazon Don is from Peru.
Okay.
Lima, Peru. All right, so she's from Peru. So what's something?
We can come back to that weakness
Let's
too.
come back
That's
to that.
tough.
That's
do
tough.
have a good one for the hometown though.
What?
Was from a battle planet and was sent to Earth, and when she hit Earth, that was the comet that took out the dinosaurs. Was Void hitting Earth?
Ooh, I like that.
That would put her around. That would put her around like the Mexico, South America. Like, I mean, obviously that was rumored to be in Mexico, right? So she could have made her way down to South America in the millions of years in between. And she's an alien, so you don't know how long she lives. So I think that's a good one, and we'll figure out a weakness later because I have no idea.
That's hard.
That's a hard one.
That's hard.
Scarlet Horror. I mean,
okay.
Almost exactly like Scarlet Witch. Oh, I can go through Void. Doris, Marion. Am I saying Marion right? It's very far away from me.
Yeah.
Is it Marion? Yeah, it is. Okay.
It's Marion.
Void, female, age is unknown. Gravity manipulation, can control and manipulate the mass of anything. Muscle-bound titan, alien, personality of a warrior, and hyper-violent. She's from an alien from a battle planet, and was shunned to Earth. And when she was shunned to Earth, her spaceship hit the Earth, and that was what killed all the dinosaurs. Was her spaceship? It wasn't a comet. It was her spaceship hitting the Earth. That is Void.
Or maybe her weakness could be like, I was thinking about Hulk, right? And you know how like the madder he gets, the stronger he gets.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the happier she is, the weaker she is.
Yeah, but how do you use that in a fight? You're just gonna get
I know,
madder.
man, because she goes to one. That would really be good for one of the heroes, but we're going with Amazon Dawn. So I don't know. We'll have to come back.
What's the strongest thing on Earth? Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that can penetrate her skin are diamonds. So
okay.
You have to have diamonds. So like Amazon Dawn can have diamond spears. Like that could be part of her getup is diamond spears to take out Void. Or something, a part of her outfit could be diamonds, and it's just so she can take out Void if she needs something like that. Like you don't have to say that's a weakness. You could say the only thing strong enough to pierce the Void skin is diamonds on Earth. You could put it under weakness, but that doesn't have to be like the weakest point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't have to be Void's weakest point, but that's the only thing on Earth that can even come close to doing anything against Void. Okay. Scarlet Horror. I mean, you would say Scarlet Witch because of the Scarlet. I like this better as still like a witch type of thing, but like more of the traditional sense of a witch. Like could be from Salem, Massachusetts. And isn't like the witchcraft like you see from the Scarlet Witch where it's more like manipulation and things like that, but like actual witchcraft, like potions and like, you know what I'm talking about?
Man, it'd be cool if she could do something, since it's Scarlet Horror, it could be something to do with like she can manifest your worst fears right in
I
front
like
of you.
that.
Kind
That's
of deal.
great. That's great.
Oh,
That's part of the horror part. I like that a lot. So she manifests your biggest fears. She brings to and manifests it. So you see your biggest fear, and if
and
you
you have
see
to
your
fight it.
biggest fear, boom, it appears, no matter what it is. It's terrifying.
She can manifest and summon. Let's do that. So you have to fight
Well,
it.
isn't manifest summoning or no?
Oh, yeah, I guess
Manifest
so.
is creation. No, no, no. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. Just in case I'm wrong.
Or say manifest, because I was going to say and can control it, so you have to fight your biggest fear. You know?
Manifest, summon, and controls. Well, you don't have to put in controls. I feel like if you're summoning it,
You
you're
can
going to be in
control it.
control of it. Yeah. Maybe not. Anyway, physical traits. I would say almost can blend in with anyone. Like doesn't I don't know. I don't know what the physical traits would be. Because we need more of that. Like everyone's kind of like if you see Void, you know it's gonna be Void. if you see Shade or Count Von Drake, you know that's who they are. Like one looks like we need someone that kind of looks like if they were walking on the streets, you would have no idea.
Oh,
this is that
she's
person.
a supermodel.
Okay,
Her secret identity is a supermodel.
sounds good. That's terrifying. A supermodel that manifests your biggest fears.
Yeah, bro.
A little too real.
Right. Right.
Personality traits. That could be where I was coming in saying she practiced witchcraft and she created a potion that allows her to have these powers. And I think she should be just like 500 years old or something. Not 500, like 200 years old. But it doesn't look 200 years old, but looks like 25 because she works with witchcraft. So she creates she created like a youth serum or something like that.
She is forever 25.
Cool. And then her weakness. Water, just like in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God, that's just hilarious.
You dump water on her, she's out. She's done. What could her weakness be?
Yeah, so she'll be 500. So dang, she's older than
five. I don't think it should be 500 because what are we thinking for that? That would be 1800s, right? No, would be when were witches like a thing? Let me check. When was the Salem witch trials? Because that's no, you're closer. 1692. 1692 was the Salem witch trials. So that would make her. I got to do all this math. And 330 years ago was the Salem witch trials.
so she's 350.
350, yeah, something around there.
So that means she's like 20 in her 20s when they tried to burn her at the stake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like we literally, you said 500, I said 200. It was literally dead in the middle.
That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. Weaknesses.
Fire.
You could say fire because obviously being burned at the stake. I was gonna say can't survive without her potions.
I like that even better.
She doesn't have her.
Ooh,
Huh?
you're right. And she has to apply it to her skin.
Yeah, constantly. She has to either drink it or she has to intake it or she dies. And she loses her
Only
powers.
survive by using potions.
I think that's a solid weakness. Now everybody's favorite coming up. Well, let me say, Christina Barbosa, Scarlet Horror. She's a female. She's 350 years old, but she looks like she is 25. She can manifest and summon and control your biggest fears. She is a supermodel in her what would you call that? Her secret identity. Again, she always looks 25. She practices witchcraft. And that's how she got her power. She's from Salem, Massachusetts, obviously. That's so on the nose. And can only survive by using her potions. She either has to drink or apply some kind of intake. Some kind of intake is the only way she can survive on that. So now we get Thomas Lee, Moonstar. I would have to say this is our least favorite of the villains. What would you say? Because this was the name that, like, we had that last chance. Like, we're like, all right, this is the last one we could do. And then it was like, oh, Moonstar. But Moonstar can have some good stuff.
Let me see. Moonstar.
It might be another space one here. I would say Moonstar was a former astronaut that his ship got lost. And he was an astronaut from, it doesn't matter. His ship got lost, and he crashed on the moon. Or what he thought was the moon. While he was there, he was attacked by an alien that he ended up getting powers from in the attack. When he came back to Earth, he was so mad that they sent him up there. Like, well, we should say he's a former astronaut, and his ship crashed because of something the government did. Or he finds out when he gets home that he was a guinea pig to do something. You know what I mean? Like, the crash happened on purpose. It was not like an accident that he landed in the wrong spot. So when he came back, he was so upset with that he became a villain.
All right, so his ship crashed due to a government conspiracy.
Yes. Ship crashed due to a government conspiracy. When on that planet, he gained powers through. We can either say an alien attack or something he found on the planet. Like, okay, he can have a belt that has like this gem on it he found on this planet, and that gives him his powers.
Oh, I was going to say he ate an alien. He ate an alien, like he was just hungry,
and he just morphs. Now he's like a moon man type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Peep this. He can shapeshift into things that he's eaten.
Okay. I like it. So he takes a bite out of a hero, he can turn into that hero.
Yeah, but he has to ingest it.
That's what I mean. So if he rips off a piece of the hero, he now can become that hero.
All right.
His personality traits, well, he's a shapeshifter, so he can look like whatever he wants.
So he can shapeshift to things that, or creatures. I'm going to say creatures.
Do we want to make it he can shapeshift into the thing he eats, or another easier way to get that power? Like, I get what you're saying with the eats, but like, do we want to make it like?
Okay, let's say this. He can shapeshift into an alien, like just an alien, just whatever. Like, he can be Ben 10 without the watch, but just without multiple characters.
So that's what I was thinking. So
he can just transfer him into an alien, like a.
He has a gem. He keeps it on a belt or on his chest or in his costume, and anything he points that gem at, he can now shapeshift into. So if he like pushes his chest out and it goes on to Scarlet Horror, he can now have the powers of Scarlet Horror. Whatever that gem can reach out to, he can get the powers of that.
Okay.
How's that sound?
The gem. All right. So gain powers from a gem he found. Yep. So the gem, what can the gem do?
The gem, anything, we can do one of two ways. Anything he points the gem at, he can then shapeshift into. The other way we can do it is he has the gem on his body somehow, like on his hands or something, on gloves, and anything he touches, he can then shapeshift into.
I like that. Anything the gem touches, he can shapeshift into.
Okay, anything the gem touches, he can shapeshift into. His physical traits would be whatever he wants.
Yep.
I don't know what we'd have him look like before that, though. I think he would just look like a man. Like, I think he would just look like a guy. He wouldn't, like, very normal. Like, 6 foot, 185. It's a normal looking dude. And then obviously he has the easiest weakness of all of them. Because his weakness is if he doesn't have the gem, he doesn't have powers. Wow, I thought that was going to be a tougher one. That was maybe the easiest one of all of them. Maybe because I gave an entire backstory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, though.
Yeah, in the very beginning. So as you're finishing that up, I'll read over that. This Thomas Lee, his name is Moonstar. He is a male. I think we'll make him like 35-ish. I think that's a good age for him, right?
Yeah.
He was an astronaut, so he can't be in his 20s. He was an astronaut that went on a moon mission. So he's about 35. His superpowers, he can transform into anything. His gem that he found on this crashed planet, anything it touches, he can turn into. He's an average-looking guy. He doesn't have any distinct traits until he shape-shifts. Personality traits. He's a former astronaut whose ship crashed due to a government conspiracy. When he finds out about this conspiracy, when he gets back to Earth, he wants revenge. That's what drove him to the evil side. He gains his powers through a gem that he found on this alien planet. The alien gem is implanted into his hand. And his weakness is the gem contains the power. So if he breaks a gem or loses the gem, that's it. So that is Moonstar. So the last one we have is Violet Sage. Now, I'm definitely going to let you take more of the lead on this because I know this is the one you were really excited for when we first. I mean, we made this. This was a hero that we made a villain. So we have a lot of this stuff already. It's Violet Sage, 123 years old. She eats your youth. So she could take your life force through touch and add years to her own. She has super agility as well. She's a former member of the Fantastic Six and the creator of the Fantastic Six. And she is incredibly smart, basically like a Doc Ock type deal or a Doctor Doom type deal would probably be a better comparison. And she is from ATL, Atlanta. And so what we need to get from her is her physical traits and her weakness. I thought you were about to say I have the physical traits already. Let's go. I think she should have very close traits to Captain Unique, although Captain Unique's I think is just shape shifting, so that's not that can't work. I would say she's a decent build because she's always looking young. So she's not like she's like very like.
Let's say she's like forever 35.
I would say like younger than that. I would say she always looks like 26.
Okay.
Because that's when you're going to be at like your best ability. She always looks 26. She is a little more toned because she's always young and she has young energy.
So very energetic.
But even though she looks 26, she has 100 more years of experience.
So let's do this. She's kind of an old soul, quote unquote.
Old soul, definitely 100% old soul is the way to go.
Because she looks 26, but she acts 123 because that's really her age. So you're watching a 26-year-old act like an old woman, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh.
He did it. He broke the streak. There's an off-camera streak that we laughed about of Kyle not cursing on the pod, and he's finally broke it. He's finally done it. He is so disappointed in himself, but it's okay. We still love him. It's okay. The streak. You know what happens when an old streak ends, right? A new streak starts. A new one starts.
So new one today.
You made it very far. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
God, I'm so mad. I am so mad because I was like, because that was like true from like my soul.
I know you were just like there wasn't even a podcast rolling in your head. There was just us coming up with like characters, and then boom, drops it. But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that would throw you off if some 26-year-old woman acts like she's 123.
The glasses came off and everything. He's like, oh my goodness. But let's jump back into it. Only a few more minutes here. So, weaknesses. Well, one weakness is if she has nobody to steal life force from, she gets older. I would say the older she gets, the more rapidly she ages too. So the more she doesn't steal life force, she ages a lot faster. And then, what could be the second weakness, though?
So the more life force she steals,
the faster she ages when she doesn't steal it. The more consistently she needs to steal it is probably a better way of putting it. So the more life force she steals, the more consistently she needs to steal it.
I like that.
And I think that's a good one there. I don't even think she needs another weakness.
Yeah, because think about if you got that power at 50.
Yeah.
And you're 123.
Yeah.
You done use that thing a lot.
Yes, exactly. And she looks 25, or 26. So she definitely uses it a lot. All right, well, you're writing that out. Let me go through and tell everybody what we got here. So we have Lois Spencer, a.k.a. Violet Sage. She's a female 123 years old. Her superpower is that she eats your youth. She takes your life force through touch and adds years to her own lifespan and has super agility. Her physical traits is she is forever 26. Very energetic, but an old soul type, obviously. She's 126 years old. Her personality traits, she's a former Fantastic Six creator and leader, a mastermind level of intelligence as well. She is from Atlanta, and the more that she steals your life force, the more consistently she needs to steal more life force. Emma Cameron, who is Shade, she is a female, 28 years old. She travels through darkness and has control of her own dark dimension, which is located in dark places such as shadow, nighttime, things like that. Physical traits, she's frail looking but very powerful. She wears all black, and she is a Debbie Downer. I love that. Personality traits, she's highly emotional, very cynical because all she sees is darkness, and she's the daughter of a Somali pirate. That shows you that she's from Somalia, and her weakness is light. James Rich, Count Von Drake. He's a male. We do not know how old the Count is. He has Dracula-like powers or vampire-like powers, except he can also grow bat wings instead of turning into a bat, and he can summon bats at his will. He looks like your typical vampire, claws, the teeth, all that stuff. He's a former playboy that was bitten by a vampire, so he is a charmer as well. He is from London, England, and he is weaker in the daytime but still powerful and can only die by getting hit with silver in the sunlight. Doris Marion, a.k.a. Void, she's a female. Again, age is unknown. That is because she is an alien. She has gravity manipulation, can control and manipulate mass of anything as well. She is a muscle-bound titan, and again, she is an alien. She is a warrior at heart, and she is hyper-violent. She is from a battle planet, was shunned to Earth. Her spaceship crashing into the Earth is the comet that killed the dinosaurs. And her only weakness is the strongest thing on Earth, which is diamonds. It's the only thing that can penetrate her skin. Christina Barbosa, a.k.a. Scarlet Horror. She is a female, 350 years old, and she was in the Salem Witch Trials era. She can manifest and summon your biggest fears and control your biggest fears. Her non-evil life is being a supermodel, and she is forever 25 thanks to a potion that she created and drank. Personality traits is she practices witchcraft that allows her to get her power. She is from Salem, Massachusetts, and she can only survive using the potions that she has, either drinking, applying the skin, or any type of intake. The last one is Thomas Lee Moonstar. He is a male, 35 years old. His superpower is, let's go over how he got his powers, then I'll go over superpowers because it won't make sense. He is a former astronaut whose ship crashed due to a government conspiracy. It crashed on some alien planet or alien comet. He comes back when he gets back to Earth, he finds out that this was a conspiracy and that it was done on purpose, and he wants revenge. While he was on that planet, he found a gem that is now implanted in his hand and gives him powers. What powers does it give them, you might ask? Well, he can turn into anything his gem touches, so he's a shape shifter. Like I said, he's a former astronaut who crashed. He's an average-looking guy because that's all he is. He's just a guy, and his weakness is that the gem contains his powers. So if he breaks the gem or loses the gem, that's curtains for Mr. Moonstar. That is our evil villain. League. We didn't create a name for it yet, but we're kind of running low on time, so we might not be able to do it this time. I think we'll create the Evil Villain League name at the same time we create which hero goes with which villain, which that'll be kind of quick. So we might need to think of 3 things to do in the next one of these episodes because that one might go a little quickly. But what do you think? So what do you think of this so far? What do you think of the teams? What do you think of what we've given them? I want your opinion a little bit on this.
I really like it. I think it's cool. Because these are kind of like villains that we've seen before, but but just slightly in a different way.
And just kind of change to what we like, to what we think, and what we do.
Yeah.
Who of the heroes is your favorite, and who of the villains is your favorite so far?
Probably Amazon Dawn will be my favorite.
Okay.
Hero. And then villain, it would probably be Void.
I am right there with you with Void, although I do like the Moonstar stuff. I like that a lot. I like has the gem. That could have been a hero or a villain, by the way, as well. It could have been an anti-hero as well. And I like Amazon Dawn as well, but I think Captain Unique is my favorite. I think Captain Unique, when we get to the real backstory, is going to have the best one. I truly do. But we're not at the backstory yet. Next time we do this, we might do a little bit of the backstory. We may do we're definitely going to match up the heroes with the villains, and we will create the Super Villain League name at the same time. I know we said a couple weeks ago that this was going to come out that week, and you had to wait even longer for that. We're sorry about that, but we're going to try to do this at the least once a month, if not a couple times a month. But if you haven't already, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Schnabel Studios. You can also see other productions of Schnabel Studios at that location. If you're listening to this, you can go watch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find this. So go check that out. For Chris Schnabel and Kyle Scott, this is Sketching Up. We are 58 episodes down. We're coming up on 100. We're not. I know we're in the 50s still, but we're gonna get there. It's coming. It's coming, and it's gonna be exciting when we get there. Kyle, before I actually sign off, any final thoughts? I forgot to go to your final thoughts.
Oh, no. I think this is going to be fun. I think the episodes you're talking about, we should see how the villains and heroes match up, and then like how they match up in a fight, and then pairing them and which one's in which universe, and maybe a little bit of a backstory between like at least the relationship between the hero and villain.
I think we get to the last part. And if we still have time, we go with the backstory. If we don't have time, then it's for another episode. Just like we've done in all these. We do the ones we want first, and then we go from there. But for Kyle Scott, I'm Chris Schnabel, signing off of Sketching Up once again. We will see you next time.